Hey everybody, this is your pal Drew Geraci, longtime 30-year-long comic book professional for DC Marvel, everybody else, and I love comics. I was a fanboy long before I became a big shop professional, and I've been getting more books to go in my spinner rack. I got this dirt cheap. I got this and the two following issues for like $1, and it's really in great shape. While I was up in Pittsburgh. Aquaman by Aparo, who it's funny because not funny, he's associated with Aquaman as well as Batman. He did a lot of great Aquaman stories, so I don't know how he fit those into his schedule. I think maybe Aquaman was bi-monthly or something like that. I'm not sure, but here you got Starman, the Steve Ditko design one written by Paul Levitz, and then you have Plastic Man by Joe Staton, who's perfect for humor comics, and it's written by Martin Pasco usually. You know what's funny? I have pretty much all iterations of Plastic Man, except there's only like 1 or 2 or 3 Gil Kane issues that came out in the late 60s. And whoa, they're expensive. One issue is at least $100, maybe $200, maybe more. Here we got J.M. DeMatteis, and when I met J.M. DeMatteis at a convention, and I can't remember if it was in Pittsburgh or where, I meant to ask how he pronounces his name, but everyone seems to be agreeing with that. But here you got some delicious Dick Giordano art, and it's just wonderful stuff. And the printing on this issue is really nice too. The lettering isn't as fuzzy. I mean, I don't mind the art so much, but when I can't read the words because of bad printing. So, next issue, more of the Mara mystery, and Black Manta returns. And we got a Hawkman postage Twinkie ad. Now, Romeo Tangel, who inked years and years of George Perez on New Teen Titans, he's inking here. And you know what? Frankly, I like it a lot. Better than Ditko's inking at the time, because Ditko got kind of ham-handed with his inks, and I still enjoyed it, but sometimes it was a little too simplistic looking. But Romeo Tangel, he really brings a little more, I don't know what you'd call it, a little more three-dimensionality. And you get that beautiful, Ditko layout, storytelling, which is fantastic storytelling. I came into Ditko late in my life, and now I just eat it up with a spoon. So Plastic Man and Woozy Winks, the sidekick, are watching an explosion happen. They're at a police station, and Plaz will the screen that they projected the disaster on. And it's just, man, Joe Staton, so fun. Fun. Hang on there. It's just really incredible. I actually got, my cousin had some of these issues, and I really wasn't a DC guy at the time, but I really took to Plastic Man. I was like, oh wow. And the only thing, what's weird is I've come into DC Comics much later in life, like in the 80s as opposed to like the 70s. And now I'm enjoying Adventure Comics. I'm getting back issues. I paid like $1 or $2 maybe for this. The frustrating thing about Adventure Comics, I'm trying to collect them from here on, and it turned into a digest size like the last year. And I got this beauty on eBay, really, really great shape for $10, I think, plus shipping. And the last year or so were digest size. This is $4.97. Gil Kane original cover. The rest is reprints. And briefly, these were on the shelves of the grocery stores, just like Archie comics were. And I don't know if I guess it didn't work out, but I loved it. But the thing is, if you collect the book, you gotta hunt these down, and it's hard to find them in really good condition like that. Okay, next, we got Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing. I got this specifically because the latest issue, the latest volume of Marvel Masterworks that has Marvel 2-in-1, it's pure shit. I'll be honest. It's very, every book's like a fill-in. It's very sloppy. It's when, benign neglect somehow kept the book moving. And this is the only good story out of that era, because it starts with like issue 75 and goes into whatever. So it's Ed Hannigan cover, drawn by Walt Simonson. That's a beautiful cover. And this American Eagle guy, he was created by Ron Wilson and, let's see, Doug Bench, who's done Moon Knight. Oh, American Eagle character created by rampaging Ron Wilson. And Gene Day is the inker. And anything he did, I loved, because he just went nuts. He was very much like Terry Austin, with just going crazy with the textures. What year is this? 1981. And Benji's bored, so he does some workout. And I'm going to do an episode that's going to have nothing but different issues where Benji is like lifting weights, and it's all different ones. It's almost like they would have a giant building, let alone just for his workout gadgets. So anyway, White Wingfoot, longtime friend of the FF, is telling he's concerned about a lot of stuff that has to do with his reservation. And Benjamin's like, all right, get on with it. What did happen to remind the elders that corny legend? No disrespect into it, you understand. And I'm like, dude, it's like, you've been through so much stuff. Why would you brush off something that's, supposed to be a legend like that? I love that so much. But the book suffered by really bad writing for a long time. Okay, now. Another chapter. Look at all this jazz that Gene Day is bringing. He would end up doing Master of Kung Fu until he passed away. He was only like 32 or so. Gene Day was a workaholic, even for a comic book artist. He worked day and night. He chain smoked. He drank a lot of coffee, and he didn't move. So that's what made him pass on, which is a real shame. And it wasn't that he was pressured into it. There was like this rumor that, Marvel, or DC and Marvel, they just kind of, gotta take a sip of water. They drove him to his death. But it's like, no, his siblings have said he just was that way. And so, American Eagle down in the Savage Land, which is in Antarctica or something like that. Beautiful design. That is beautiful. I would hate to draw it. I don't even think he ever showed up again. Maybe I'm wrong. So Kazar's ready to... And check out those back muscles. Ron Wilson's real good at musculature. And his first... He had two eras. He did Marvel 2-in-1 in the early years, and he came back. But for some reason, I'm pretty sure Jim Shooter advised him to do 6-panel pages, all mid shots. Because it's like you'll look at Valiant or Defiant or Broadway comics, and you'll see that he kind of got away from the Kirby dynamic or How to Draw Comics in Marvel Way by John Buscema, and had to resimplify it with a few exceptions, like the fan favorites. So people remember Ron Wilson poorly, and I think it's a disservice. Just kick, love that flip. Rips this tree out of the ground. Whoop. Man, that's great. It's interesting. That does not look like a Ron Wilson face. I think Gene Day may have done some. This metal panel is kind of awkward as hell. But the tree is a shield. And I'm like, you got to pull out a whole tree. So, he's super tall and super badass, super strength. Then they finally talk it out. That second panel with the really dark line over Kazar's face, the two of them, I don't like them. They're just way too dark. They look like somebody put war paint on them. It looks like either a mask or it's just too dense. But otherwise, that's fine. A lot of fun. I really thought things were going to be big for him, but no, there's some great Zipatone. And there's another face I think Gene Day kind of probably, tweaked and redid. And then Zabu comes up. And he decided to take off. He's like, I usually take to the trees, I don't, he's like, it's going to take you a while. Because by all means, then Kazar, don't let me hold you down. Not bad. Carries his own vines attached to the cross bolts. Fire one ahead of him, yanks out the one behind. Messy but effective. That's really absurd. That is so dumb. But oh well. It's comics. So anytime you get something metallic cool going on, Gene Day is going to add his super sauce. And the Thing and American Eagle are pretty matched up. That's great. I love that establishing shot. And our old pal Claw is here. He was last seen in the Project Pegasus storyline that I covered on my other channel. That had to do with the Aquarian. Let's see, like everything's teeny tiny now. I think what happened is Wilson was probably running out of time and he had to kind of crank stuff out. But I just love that face. My mission here is finished. Come on. Never saw him again. Doesn't mean he hadn't shown up again. I just never saw it. Pirate Corps by Evan Dorkin, who would go on to write Space Ghost Coast to Coast. His book was for slave labor graphics. This came out about 1981 or 1989 or 1991 or something like that. But Evan Dorkin, this is issue 3. I think this is a relaunched version. He had a first couple issues, and then he started over with number 1 because he had a different sense of direction, and a different sense of direction. He had a different direction plan, and originally Pirate Corps was supposed to be like an adventure series, and they were one of many groups of scavengers. Yeah, they were kind of like pirates, just go around the galaxy and taking cool shit. They had competing groups, and they were considered like the lowlifes. This band, they were considered, holy mother of pearl! Everybody come to the hall. Everybody come here. Halby set his hair on fire. Like fire. And Halby is like this huge crybaby, And like, God in heaven, I know I'm a goddamn idiot. I know I fall like a brick for women who could care less. I'm neurotic and scared and paranoid and hypersensitive and subconscious and paranoid. I can't help it. So, lots of cool detail. Oh, by the way, Evan Dorkin ended up doing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure that Marvel had licensed and did a great job on it. So, Food Run, they got a credit card, and they're going to go Lost in the Supermarket. Named after a great song by The Clash, which is on London Calling. He tended the previous issue, there was Party at Ground Zero, which was a song by Fishbone, which is incredible. So now I'm okay. Now I'm all right. I got 10 hours of sleep and a long shower. Now we're popped for a food run. They're all jazzed. Frozen burritos, SpaghettiOs, Yoo-Hoos, Malomars, chips, a feast day, Santitos, Crunchberries, root beer, quick, dips, wax lips. And they get this huge megalomart, but like it's 20 times larger. All the horrors and opium we can carry. Because there is the Mart, way back. Holy shit. This is before Buc-ee's came along. So this automaton advertising for Hires Root Beer says, "Hello, welcome to the Mega Mart. I am Hires Root Beer, on sale this week on aisle 42. Piss off, we're A&W men." Just a lot of funny, silly stuff. There's some serious stuff in there as well. But what happened is it was hard to find these books on at the stands because it just really wasn't selling great, you know. So, but what they did is in the back issues they would sell back issues, and I would order them in the mail. I love that pose. I love that pose. He's just having a shit fit, and you know. Oh. Everybody likes junk food, Carl. Not me. Me neither. For once, I thought we were going to have a dinner here. This is a dinner. No, it's not. It's pseudo dinner. It's all zap crap and boxes of cans. Look at this. Chicken buns, SpaghettiOs. Well, it's all a matter of aesthetics. Being basically mature individuals like we are, even our food is fun and entertaining. Neat packaging, odd tapes, convenience. The more like toys or dessert the food is better. It's a known fact. But don't you miss real meal like steak? Sure, a steak is great, but Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries wins out every time. Milk and cheese. That's a whole different story because they're crazed barbarians who drink and destroy things. And now we're going to Fish Police. I just picked those up recently. You guys stay in line there, Hercules. Love that cover. It's issue 1. It came out during the black and white boom of the 80s. And I don't know how it sold. It must have sold somewhat because it stuck around. It must have done fairly good. But, wait a second. I really wanted to like this. I sound terrible by saying this. Also, the storytelling's a little wacky. It's like you don't know when, where the comments, what order they fall into. Overall, it's a really sharp production. The fish police, they get inside of my head. It's just a lot of this, you know. It's just sparse on story. And if you're doing the first issue, you got to really do something to grab people. I mean, there's Sam and Max Freelance Police, and they're the total opposite. They're just crazed characters who destroy everything in their wake in the pursuit of justice. So, but it's I might have to see the later issues. So, but this didn't do much for me. So, Fish Police. So, I don't know how many issues last drop Now, for the big finale, Hercules, Prince of Power. Bob Layton was leaving Iron Man around issue 154 or something like that. And I remember being really pissed off. I was like a teenage fanboy, and I was like, they should not give him Hercules. They should just make him stay on Iron Man. Like there was anything other than free will involved. It's like he wanted to take Hercules based on the Hercules who was a Jercules when in an issue of Avengers he started a fight with Wonder Man just for the sport of it. Bob Layton noticed the story, or he took note of that scene and said, we'll just make this guy a big butthead. And he kind of, he lives for the moment, and a lot of times he regrets it. Another sip of water. Well, when I saw this on the newsstands, I lost my mind because, first of all, the logo is really, really amazing. And this, along with Wolverine, it came out the same month with the very first, generally the very first Marvel limited series. They had Contest of Champions before, but that was like a Treasury edition. I was supposed to go out with the Summer Olympics, and the Olympics were canceled, or Jimmy Carter decided to cancel the Olympics because of something in the Middle East that's totally going over my head. I can't remember what it was. Afghanistan, I think, and Russia. Long story, because I'm too busy thinking about comics to think about history at the moment. But he made him look badass. He put the he didn't have these kind of wristbands before. Brought back the ear flaps from his early days. Totally kick ass. There's his mace. There's a recorder. Okay. What fools these immortals be? So he's climbing Mount Olympus. And Bob's doing the art and the story, and Rick Parker's doing the lettering. So, then again, why should I deny thee the honor of being bested by the Prince of Power? Is not the joy of battle the gift to those of immortal stature? So, have at thee then. And a bunch of guards, stop him. And he wanders around. He's kind of bored. Because it is day of reflective silence, the time in which we honor the birth of Father Zeus, the Golden One, sought only to halt thy wagging tongue. Thou must go at once to thy quarters and pay homage silently to the Father. Of course. So he's just bored out of his mind. But these ladies are like, hey, how you doing? We are charged to provide refreshment to all who honor Zeus this day. May we offer you thy pleasure? Indeed, fair maidens, you are welcome, guests in the abode of Hercules. That's how his voice was back in the 1966 Thor comics. So, anyway, there's a crash. Zeus comes in. See Herc's partying. We are not amused. Upon the world of mortals thou art truly a god to be humbled by none. But yonder in the vastness of the universe, among the myriad stars, thou art a puny creature. And enough, thy Lord has spoken. Remove thyself to thy quarters, and at dawn stand forth in the courtyard of Zeus to begin thine exile. So you get these horses. And goes shooting out into space. And these are the Rigelians who appeared in Thor when Kirby was on the book. Hey, the Prince of Power approaches. By the horn of Zeus, through which I speak, open thy looking dock. What should we do? Oh, open the bay doors. We'll see what we got. Hercules bids thee. I can't read tonight. I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from the drive. I had a long drive back from Pittsburgh, and there's a recorder who hangs around. He's supposed to record everything Hercules does, and Bob Layton decides to give this one a little bit of personality. So they're in this bar. All right, who ordered the fungus daiquiri? So this plane is crashing towards Rigel, or not Rigel, some other place. What happened is Recorder gets drunk. Statement: why do my sensors feel like them twin ion engines? Methinks thou hast partaken a bit too much of thy oxalic oil. In corrugative, I think this fluid is overloading my lubrication system. So, male, female, cybernetic bipeds. Boy, you can't take those cybernetic bipeds anywhere. Says, well, this is the strongest man in the galaxy. You shall receive the gift. No, you don't understand. Wham! What is this? Why did you hurt me? What did I do to make you hate me? Because it turns out they're very powerful, but they're pacifists. And he gets shunned, rightfully so. The alarm goes off, and flames are all over the city because of that rocket that crashed. And Hercules decides to use a coil, hopefully unfoil, and throw it away. Everybody rejoices. Some guy bumps into him. Oops, sorry, matey. You dare cross the son of Zeus? Thou shalt pay for the impudence, large one. Look, mate, I be sorry. It was just an accident. You shall receive the gift. Stand thy ground and have at the end. Nay, for the love of gods. So it's fun stuff. It's man, this just blew my friggin' mind. I remember buying the third issue at it was a Pittsburgh Comic Con, which was downtown Pittsburgh, and Bob Layton and Joe Rubinstein were there, and both of them would sign. Bob would sign this, and Joe did the Wolverine series, inking over Frank Miller. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry if I sound mush mouth, but it's just that I'm still recovering from that long 12-hour drive yesterday. My head's all full of cotton. And so let me know what you think below. Tell me what you experienced when you first saw these comics. What you think of them. Just all opinions are welcome. Below, and please hit like and subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Because I'm back in the game for a while. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. Anyway, that's it. Take it easy, everybody.